The message came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Deep in the halls of Earth's Space Defense Command, the alert echoed through the control room. Jack, the night shift operator, nearly spilled his coffee as the deep space sensors lit up like Christmas trees. "Sir, you need to see this," he called out, his voice steady despite his racing heart. The signal was clear: alien origin. Direct approach vector, no attempt at hiding. Captain Tom Reed walked to the main screen, his face illuminated by the blinking lights. 20 years of service had prepared him for this moment. The world had waited, watching the stars, building defenses, and now first contact was inevitable. "Send the response package," he ordered, following the protocols developed decades ago. Humanity had prepared first contact messages in every known format, ready for this very day. Within hours, the alien ship appeared at the edge of the solar system. It was massive, gleaming like polished chrome under the distant sunlight. The vessel's design spoke of advanced technology, but nothing humanity hadn't anticipated. Earth's hidden defense grid tracked its every move, while appearing to leave it completely unmonitored. The aliens called themselves the Collective. Their message was simple: they wished to meet Earth's leaders aboard their ship. Tom knew better than to trust such a basic request. The International Space Defense Force had run this scenario countless times. "Deploy the diplomatic vessel," Tom commanded. "Show them exactly what they expect to see." The small, seemingly primitive ship launched from Earth's orbit, making a show of its limited capabilities. Inside the diplomatic vessel, Tom adjusted his uniform. The ship appeared basic on the outside, but packed more scanning and defense technology than the aliens could imagine. Humanity had learned long ago: appear weak when you are strong. The meeting chamber aboard the alien ship was designed to intimidate. Towering ceilings, strange metals that seemed to shift colors, and artificial gravity that felt just slightly off, all calculated to unsettle the human visitors. The alien leader, tall and imposing in flowing robes, spoke through an advanced translator. "We have watched your species for some time," it said, voice echoing in the chamber. "Your civilization has potential. Under our guidance, you could join the Collective as a protectorate species." Tom smiled politely, noting how the aliens positioned themselves near hidden weapon ports. His implants were scanning everything, feeding data back to Earth through quantum channels the Collective couldn't detect. "That's a generous offer," Tom replied, his words measured. "Though I'm curious why you think we need guidance." The alien leader moved closer, its height meant to loom over Tom. "Your technology is primitive. Your ships barely reach your own moon. We offer you the stars." Tom's smile never wavered. "Interesting assumption. We've noticed your kind makes a lot of those." The chamber's atmosphere shifted. The alien's posture became more aggressive. "This is not a negotiation," the leader stated. "You will accept our protection or face the consequences." "No," Tom said simply. "We won't." The alien leader's translator crackled with confusion. "You don't understand your situation. Our ship's weapons are locked on your major cities. Your species has no defense against our technology." Tom stood, straightening his jacket. "Actually, we understand perfectly. We've been watching you, and others like you, for 50 years. Those weapon ports you're hiding, we mapped them the moment we came aboard. The fleet you have hiding behind your moon, we've known about them for hours." The alien leader stepped back, its confidence cracking. "Impossible. Your sensors are exactly what we wanted you to see," Tom finished. "Here's humanity's response to your offer. We've been ready for this moment longer than you can imagine. Every invasion scenario you're considering, we've planned for it. Those weapons locked on our cities. Try to fire them." The alien leader rushed to a control panel. Nothing responded. Their systems were locked, though they couldn't understand how. "This is humanity's first and final warning," Tom announced, walking toward the exit. "We're not primitive, we're not helpless, and we're definitely not interested in becoming anyone's subjects. We've been watching the stars, waiting for you, preparing. Remember that before you make your next move, As Tom's ship departed, the alien leader received urgent messages. Earth's defense grid had gone active, revealing technology that should have been centuries beyond human capability. Sensors detected installations on Mars, weapons platforms in the asteroid belt, and energy signatures that made no sense. The humans hadn't just been watching. They had been getting ready. And they were done pretending. 50 years earlier, in a hidden facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Jane Walker stared at the grainy images on her screen. The photos, taken by Earth's first deep space telescope array, showed something that would change humanity forever. Alien ships in nearby star systems. "How many civilizations have we found?" she asked, her voice steady despite the weight of the discovery. 17 so far, replied Bill, her chief scientist. All of them more advanced than us. All of them predatory. He pulled up more images showing alien ships attacking less developed worlds. Jane stood up, her mind already racing with plans. Then we better start getting ready. They'll come for us eventually. That meeting sparked humanity's greatest secret, Project Guardian Shield. While the world went about its daily life, underground factories began production. Military leaders worldwide quietly prepared for a threat the public couldn't know about. Now, aboard the Mars Command Center hidden 2 miles beneath the red planet's surface, Jane looked at the fruits of their labor. Endless rows of advanced fighters filled the massive cavern. Each ship was built with reversed engineered technology, gathered piece by piece from careful observation of alien battles. "Status report," she called out to the control room. The massive screen lit up, showing green status lights across the solar system. Hidden bases on Europa glowed with power. Weapon platforms disguised as asteroids maintained their silent watch. The collective took the bait, reported her second-in-command, Jim. "They think we're primitive, just like we planned." He pulled up footage from Captain Reed's meeting with the aliens. "Their scans only saw what we wanted them to see." Jane allowed herself a small smile. Decades of work, trillions of dollars spent in secret, and endless nights of preparation had paid off. The aliens had no idea they were walking into a trap 50 years in the making. "Ma'am," called out one of the operators, "we're detecting collective spy drones entering the asteroid belt." "Let them look," Jane ordered. "Time to show them what they're really dealing with." Across the solar system, carefully hidden sensors tracked the alien drones. The collective thought they were being subtle, but humanity had been expecting this exact move. After all, they had watched the aliens use the same tactics on other worlds. In the Europa base, engineers activated the quantum shields, letting their energy signatures leak just enough to be detected. On Mars, massive hangar doors opened briefly, giving the spy drones a calculated glimpse of Earth's true military power. "They're transmitting data back to their fleet," Jim reported, watching the signals. "Their drones are seeing exactly what we prepared for them to see." Jane nodded, walking to the main strategic display. Red dots showed the positions of collective ships, still hiding behind Jupiter. They thought they were being stealthy, not knowing that humanity had tracked them since they entered the solar system. "How long until they process what they're seeing?" she asked. "Their command ship is showing increased energy readings," replied the sensor operator. "They're realizing that we're not as helpless as they thought." Alarms suddenly blared across the command center. "Multiple ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel," shouted Jim. "The collective is calling in reinforcements." Jane remained calm. This, too, had been expected. "Deploy the quantum buoys," she ordered. "Let's show them another surprise." Across the solar system, hidden devices activated. The collective's reinforcements found their faster-than-light drives suddenly useless. Trapped in normal space by technology they thought impossible for humans to possess. "Message from Earth Command," announced the communications officer. "Captain Reed says the collective's diplomats are demanding explanations." "Tell them to wait," Jane replied, watching as more of humanity's hidden strength was revealed. "They'll get all the explanations they need soon enough." In the darkness of space, Earth's true defense fleet began powering up. 50 years of preparation were about to pay off, and the collective was about to learn why humanity had been so quiet for so long. They hadn't been sleeping. They had been getting ready for war. The collective struck at dawn, Earth time. Their ships emerged from behind Jupiter, weapons charged, heading straight for the mining colonies on Mars. They expected an easy victory. They were wrong. Major Robert Stone watched from his command chair as the alien fleet approached. His ship, hidden inside a hollowed-out asteroid, was one of hundreds waiting in ambush. The crew stayed quiet, years of training keeping them calm even as the enemy drew closer. All ships maintain stealth, he ordered through the quantum comm system. Let them think they have surprise on their side. The collective ships moved with confidence, their formation perfect and precise. Their scans showed only a few primitive defense platforms around Mars, exactly what they expected from a developing race. "They're entering the kill zone," reported Mike, Robert's tactical officer. "Defense grid is ready." Robert waited until the alien fleet was fully committed to their attack run. "Send the signal," he commanded. "Let's show them how humans fight." Across the asteroid belt, hundreds of rocks suddenly shed their outer layers. Hidden ships emerged like wasps from a nest. The collective fleet found themselves surrounded by vessels that shouldn't exist, using technology they thought humans couldn't possibly possess. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Thunder," Robert ordered. The human fleet moved with practiced precision, each ship knowing its role perfectly. They had rehearsed this exact scenario countless times over the years. The collective ships tried to regroup, but their formation fell apart under the unexpected assault. Their commanders had trained to fight primitive enemies, not an equal force that knew all their tactics. "Sir, they're trying to call for reinforcements," reported the communications officer. Robert smiled. "Let them try. The quantum disruption field is holding." The alien ships fired their main weapons, but the shots passed harmlessly through empty space. The human vessels weren't where they appeared to be, using holographic technology stolen from another alien race years ago. "Multiple hits on enemy vessels," Mike announced as the human fleet opened fire. "Their shields aren't adapted to our weapons." Of course they weren't. Humanity had developed these weapons specifically to counter collective defenses, based on 50 years of careful observation. The alien fleet commander's voice boomed across all channels. "This is impossible. Your species cannot have this technology." "You'd be surprised what humans can do when we put our minds to it," Robert replied calmly. "Especially when we've had decades to prepare." The battle turned into a slaughter. Human ships moved with perfect coordination, using tactics the collective had never seen before. Each attack exploited weaknesses that the aliens didn't even know they had. "Enemy fleet is retreating," Mike reported. "They've lost 30% of their ships." Robert watched as the alien vessels flowed in disorder. "Let them go," he ordered. "They need to report what happened here." As the collective ships disappeared into the darkness of space, Robert received a transmission from Earth Command. Admiral Walker's face appeared on his screen. "Excellent work, Major," she said. "The collective just learned their first lesson about humanity. How are our losses?" "Minimal, Nam," Robert replied. 3 ships damaged, no casualties. The shield technology worked perfectly. "Good," Jay nodded, "because this was just the beginning. They'll be back, and in greater numbers." Robert looked at the tactical display, showing the positions of hundreds more hidden human ships across the solar system. "Let them come," he said. "We've got a few more surprises waiting for them." In the aftermath of the battle, debris from collective ships drifted through space. Earth's recovery teams were already moving to collect it, adding more alien technology to humanity's arsenal. The first major battle between humanity and the collective was over. The aliens had expected to find an easy target. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that had been watching, learning, and preparing for this exact moment. And this was only the beginning. In the Grand Council chamber of the collective's capital ship, Ambassador Mark Thompson sat calmly at the massive negotiation table. The alien leaders around him were anything but calm. Their recent defeat had shattered centuries of beliefs about their superiority. "You deceived us." The collective's high commander slammed his metallic fist on the table. His skin shifted colors with anger, moving from blue to deep purple. "You hid your true capabilities." Mark adjusted his simple black suit, a stark contrast to the aliens' elaborate robes. "We didn't deceive anyone," he replied. "We simply prepared." "There's a difference." The chamber buzzed with angry whispers from the other alien representatives. Through hidden sensors in his collar, Mark counted 12 different species present. Each one had a history of conquering weaker civilizations. "Prepared." A smaller alien with crystalline features leaned forward. "Your kind was barely reaching your moon when we first noticed you. How did you advance so quickly?" Mark smiled. "We watched. We learned. Every time you conquered another world, we studied your tactics. Every piece of technology you left behind, we analyzed. You made it quite easy, actually." The High Commander's color darkened further. "Impossible. Our stealth systems were detected by us 48 years ago," Mark interrupted. He pulled out a small device and activated it. A hologram appeared, showing detailed maps of collective movements across the galaxy. "These are your invasion fleet patterns for the last 5 decades. We've been tracking everything." Silence fell across the chamber. The aliens stared at the data, recognizing their own secret military operations laid bare before them. "But that's not why I'm here today," Mark continued, turning off the hologram. "I'm here to discuss terms." "Terms?" The High Commander laughed, but there was fear in his voice. "You think one small victory gives you the right to dictate terms to the collective?" Mark pressed another button on his device. Across collective space, thousands of their faster-than-light navigation beacons suddenly went dark. "That's just a small demonstration," he said as panic spread through the alien leaders. "We can shut down your entire transportation network anytime we want. Would you like to see what else we can do?" A tall, reptilian alien stood up. "The other members of the collective should hear about this, about how humans have surpassed." Silence. The High Commander shouted, but it was too late. "Yes," Mark nodded. "Tell them. Tell everyone how humanity spent 50 years preparing while you thought we were primitive. Tell them how we developed defenses against every weapon you have. Tell them how their mighty collective lost a third of its fleet to a species they thought was barely spacefaring." The chamber erupted in arguments. Several alien representatives began making private calls to their homeworlds. The collective's unity was cracking. "Here are humanity's terms," Mark announced, his voice cutting through the chaos. "First, recognition of Earth's space as sovereign territory. Second, free trade with any species that wishes to engage with us. Third, immediate cessation of all conquest operations against developing civilizations." "Or what?" the High Commander challenged, but his voice wavered. Mark stood up slowly. "Or we continue demonstrating just how prepared we really are. That battle you lost. We used less than 10% of our actual fleet. Would you like to see what else we've been building?" Through his hidden earpiece, Mark received a message from Earth Command. More collective ships were gathering at their borders, just as planned. "You have 48 hours to consider our terms," he said, walking toward the exit. "Oh, and don't bother trying to track my ship when I leave. You won't be able to. We learned that trick from the Arcturian species you conquered last year." As Mark's ship departed, the collective's leadership remained in shocked silence. Their perfect system of conquest and control was falling apart. Humanity hadn't just defeated their ships, they were dismantling the very foundations of the collective's power. And they were doing it without firing a single shot. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility unknown even to most of Earth's governments, Dr. Anna Miller stood before a wall of screens. Each one showed different pieces of alien technology that humanity had secretly mastered over the decades. "They still don't understand," she said to the group of scientists gathered around her. The collective thinks we somehow stole their technology. They haven't figured out our real advantage yet. On the main screen, footage played of the recent space battle. Collective ships moved in rigid, predictable patterns. Human ships danced around them, adapting and changing tactics constantly. "Show me the AI comparison," Anna requested. The screen split, showing two different computer systems at work. The collective's artificial intelligence was impressive, processing combat data at incredible speeds. But Earth's quantum computing network was something else entirely. Their AI thinks in straight lines, Anna explained, pointing to the patterns. Ours thinks like humans, creative, unpredictable, adaptive. We didn't just copy their technology. We made it better. The door opened, and Admiral Walker entered with several collective scientists who had recently requested asylum. Their eyes widened as they saw the facility's true scope. "This is impossible," one of them whispered, staring at a demonstration of Earth's enhanced shield technology. "Your species was primitive just 50 years ago." Anna smiled. "We were never primitive. We were patient. Every time your ships came near our solar system, we studied them. Every transmission you thought was secure, we decoded it. We took your basic designs and asked questions you never thought to ask." She led them to another section of the lab where human scientists worked on improved versions of collective weapons. "Look at your standard plasma cannon," she said, pointing to a diagram. "You haven't modified its basic design in 300 years. We found 26 ways to improve it in just 10 years of study." "But how?" another alien scientist asked, their crystalline features reflecting the lab's lights. "Our best minds work alone," Anna finished. "That's your weakness. Each of your species in the collective keeps their research secret from the others. Humans, we share information. We collaborate. We take ideas from one field and apply them to another." Admiral Walker nodded. "Show them Project Mirror." Anna pressed a button, and the lab's lights dimmed. A holographic display filled the room, showing hundreds of alien worlds and bases. "We didn't just watch your ships," she explained. "We watched how your people lived, how they thought, how they fought. We learned everything about you while letting you see nothing about us." The alien scientists moved through the display, recognizing their own homeworlds. Every defense system, every secret facility, all mapped out in perfect detail. "But our greatest advantage isn't technology," Anna continued, switching to another display. This one showed human DNA sequences. "It's our ability to adapt. While you were watching our cities, we were changing ourselves, making ourselves stronger, smarter, better. The genetic enhancements have been subtle, nothing that would show up on casual scans. Improved neural pathways, enhanced problem-solving abilities, faster reaction times, all hidden beneath seemingly normal human appearance. Your collective has spent centuries conquering others through superior technology," Anna said, turning to face the alien scientists. "We spent 50 years learning how to outthink you." An alert flashed across the screens. More collective ships were gathering at the edge of the solar system. But this time, something was different. They weren't in their usual attack formation. "They're running battle simulations," Admiral Walker noted, watching the data, "trying to find a weakness in our defenses." Anna smiled. "Let them try. Every simulation they run is based on what they think they know about us. And what they think they know is exactly what we wanted them to know," Walker finished. In space, the collective fleet continued its scans, searching for answers. But they were asking the wrong questions. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their ships, their shields, or even their enhanced soldiers. It was their ability to adapt, to change, to evolve. And they were still evolving. The collective's full invasion fleet filled the space around Jupiter, 10,000 ships strong. Their high command had finally lost patience. If humans wouldn't submit through diplomacy, they would be conquered by force. Commander David Wells watched from the bridge of his stealth ship, hidden in plain sight among the enemy fleet. His vessel, like dozens of others, had infiltrated the collective's forces weeks ago using copied identification codes. They're dividing into attack groups, reported his sensor officer. 5 main fleets, each targeting a different part of the solar system. David nodded. Just like we thought they would. Send the signal to Earth Command. The collective fleet began its advance, their formation perfect and intimidating. Their ships filled space like a swarm of angry wasps, weapons charged and shields at maximum power. All Earth forces, go dark, came Admiral Walker's voice over the quantum comm. Let them come to us. Across the solar system, human cities and bases shut down their power signatures. To the collective scanners, Earth suddenly looked defenseless. Exactly as planned. Sir, David's communication officer called out. The collective is broadcasting their victory speech already. They're transmitting it across all frequencies. The High Commander's voice boomed through space. People of Earth, your deception has failed. Your pitiful forces cannot stand against the full might of the collective. Surrender now, and we will be merciful. David smiled as he watched the enemy fleet move closer. They still hadn't figured it out. Every battle plan they were using, every tactic they had prepared, had been fed to them through carefully planted information over the past weeks. They're passing the first marker, his tactical officer reported. All ships in position. The collective fleet moved past Mars, their sensors showing only empty space and powered-down human bases. Their confidence grew with each passing moment. This would be an easy victory. Then Earth sprung its trap. Thousands of automated defense platforms, hidden in plain sight as space debris, suddenly powered up. They had been scattered throughout the solar system over decades, waiting for this moment. Now, David ordered. His ship, along with the other infiltrators, opened fire from within the collective's own formation. The copied identification codes suddenly change, revealing their true nature. The enemy fleet's neat formation dissolved into chaos as they realized the enemy was already among them. Second phase came Admiral Walker's order. The supposedly powered-down bases on Mars, Europa, and throughout the asteroid belt roared to life. But they weren't where the collected scans had shown them to be. The real bases had been hidden elsewhere, protected by holographic technology. Their fleet is in disarray, David reported, watching the enemy ships scatter under the unexpected assault. They're trying to regroup, but their communications are compromised. Years of intercepted transmissions had given humanity complete access to the collective's command codes. Their ships were receiving false orders, their targeting systems were being fed wrong data, and their strategic plans had been known to Earth's commanders before the battle even began. Sir, his sensor officer called out, we're detecting quantum signatures. They're trying to bring in reinforcements. But the reinforcements never arrived. Humanity's quantum disruption network, expanded throughout nearby star systems by stealth ships over the years, prevented any faster-than-light travel into the solar system. The collective's mighty invasion force found itself trapped and alone. Message from Earth Command, the comm officer announced. Admiral Walker says, execute final protocol. David pressed his command codes into the console. Across the battlefield, hidden transmitters activated. The collective ship's own computer systems, compromised years ago by human cyber warfare teams, began to turn against them. They're finally realizing it, David said, watching the enemy fleet fall into complete chaos. Every secret they thought they had, every advantage they thought they could use. We knew it all. We've known it for years. The battle wasn't just a victory for humanity. It was the revelation of a deception 50 years in the making. Earth hadn't just prepared for war. They had shaped how the collective would fight it. And now, the greatest military force in known space was falling apart, defeated by the very strategies they thought would bring them victory. The Grand Council chamber of the collective was silent. Where once the High Commander's throne had dominated the room, now stood a simple human conference table. Ambassador Mark Thompson sat at its center, facing the representatives of 30 different alien species. The terms are not negotiable, he said, his voice calm but firm. The collective, as it existed, is finished. but humanity offers a new beginning. Around the table, former enemy leaders watched Earth's holographic displays show the full extent of human preparation. Hidden bases in hundreds of star systems, stealth ships that had mapped every collective world, quantum networks that could shut down interstellar travel at will. "How?" asked a crystalline being, its voice humbled. "How did you hide all of this?" Mark smiled. "We didn't hide it. We showed you exactly what we wanted you to see. You saw primitive humans because you wanted to see primitive humans. Your own arrogance was our best camouflage." Admiral Walker entered the chamber, followed by Dr. Miller and Commander Wells. The heroes of Earth's victory now stood as living proof of humanity's capabilities. "Your fleet is disabled but intact," Admiral Walker announced. "We could have destroyed it. Instead, we offer partnership." The aliens murmured among themselves. The mighty collective, which had ruled space for centuries, was being offered mercy by a species they had tried to conquer. "Throughout your history," Dr. Miller added, "the collective grew through conquest. You took technology from others, but never truly improved it. You gained knowledge but never shared it. That ends today." Mark activated another hologram, showing plans for new ships, new technologies, and new possibilities. "Humanity offers true collaboration. We've proven we can defeat you. Now we prove we can help you grow." "And if we refuse?" a reptilian leader challenged, though his voice lacked conviction. Commander Wells stepped forward. "Look around your worlds. Our stealth ships are already there. Our quantum networks already control your space lanes. We don't want to rule you, but we've proven we can. The choice is yours," Mark continued. "Continue alone, trapped in your own space by our quantum barriers, or join us in something new, something better." One by one, the alien representatives began to signal their agreement. They had seen humanity's power. Now they were seeing humanity's wisdom. "Your first act of trust," Admiral Walker declared, "will be to share all your technological knowledge. In return, we'll share ours, including improvements your scientists never imagined." Dr. Miller activated displays showing hybrid technologies, human creativity combined with alien engineering. "Together, we can achieve things neither of us could alone." "And the other worlds?" someone asked. "The ones the collective used to dominate will be free to choose their own path," Mark answered, "protected by Earth's defense network until they can protect themselves. The strong helping the weak. Isn't that what the collective claimed to be about?" The chamber filled with light as more holograms activated, showing the future humanity envisioned. Not an empire built on fear, but an alliance built on mutual respect and shared growth. "Let this be remembered," Mark declared, standing to address them all. Humanity's final warning wasn't just about our readiness for war. It was about our readiness for peace. We prepared for the worst while hoping for the best. As the alien representatives signed the new accords, Earth's quantum network gradually reopened the space lanes. Trust would take time to build, but the foundation was laid. In orbit above Earth, the once mighty collective fleet now flew alongside human ships, their crews beginning to learn from each other. The great deception was over. The time for truth had begun. Humanity had emerged not just as the most powerful species in known space, but as the wisest. They had won not just through superior strength, but through superior foresight. They had been ready and waiting, not just for war, but for the chance to forge a better future for all species.